Hi, I'm Jim Onick, CEO of Epoch Lasers. Thank you for purchasing one of our laser systems, the Epoch 980. This short video will explain the setup and operation of the device. More training will be provided by your local representative. After you unpack the box of the Epoch laser, you will find several items which we'll go through now. First will be the console, the laser itself. Next, the foot switch, the interlock connector, the fiber optic cable and handpiece, the laser goggles, and the power cord. Let me now walk you through how those are all attached to the unit. First thing to do is to take the power cord, it's a standard 110 power cord, and plug it into the unit, much like you'd hook up your computer. Make sure the cord fits snugly into place. The next piece would be to connect the foot switch. This is the foot switch here. And on the foot switch, the connector is keyed or channeled. And you'll see this right here. And this aligns with the foot switch connector in here. And you push it in with the slot aligned and then tighten the connector, which screws on. Next is the interlock connector. Now, what is an interlock connector? This interlock connector is used if you would like a safety switch set up in your therapy office so that if the therapy door opens, it automatically turns the laser off. This is a requirement of all Class 4 lasers. It's not often used, but we provide the interlock, so the interlock overrides the need for that switch. Again, this is keyed to go in a certain way, and you simply rotate it until you feel that it goes in. Then push the connector in all the way and tighten the threads, just like you did with the foot switch connector. You'll also note the power switch, the 1 and the 0. This is the main power switch to the unit. And this particular power switch we will turn on after we rotate the unit around to the front so that you may see the opening screen. Now I'm going to use the power switch to turn the unit on. And you will see a splash screen come up. Once you see the splash screen come up, you can type in the code 1230 and then press the box with the 4 asterisks. And now the laser is almost ready to use. However, you must first connect the fiber optic probe. Now the fiber optic probe and treatment handpiece is made of a glass laser fiber optic. It is not a wire. Therefore, it's important to recognize that you never make too tight of a loop with a handpiece when you're using it or when you're storing it. It needs to be just very loosely coiled. On the end of the fiber optic cable, you will find a little black cover for the edge of the cable. Remove this cover and then place the fiber optic cable into the connector. But on the connector of the machine, which is called the aperture, you'll find a little metal cover. Remove the metal cover, insert the fiber optic cable into the connector. Notice right now that there's a little black circle with a line through it. That tells you the fiber optic cable is not fully connected yet. And notice what happens when I push the cable in all the way and tighten the threaded connector. And once it's in, you'll see that there's now a green circle with a check mark, indicating that the fiber optic cable is completely connected in a proper manner. And also you'll notice the LED lights around the edge of the machine turn to a bright green, showing that the laser is ready. And yet further, another indication is that there's an aiming beam coming out of the handpiece. And these are the indicators to show that the system is ready to be used. Before using any Class 4 laser system, it's necessary to put the proper goggles on. These goggles protect your eyes from the laser light should you inadvertently point the laser towards your face. Anybody in the treatment room that's involved with the laser, including the patient, should have a pair of goggles. You'll note on the foot switch that there's a protective cover. This prevents people from accidentally stepping on the foot switch until it's ready to be used. When you're ready to use a foot switch, press down and lift up, and that will expose the foot switch that then can be activated by your foot to activate the laser. Now you'll notice when I push the foot switch here, and I'm just going to do it with my finger, you'll see that this light will change to a red, and that indicates that the laser is now in operation. So let me walk you briefly through the controls and indicators of the machine. Again, your local representative will provide training in more detail. The purpose of this video is just to show you the overview of the connections. So the laser is in continuous wave mode. Whatever mode you turn the laser off in and whatever power setting is what will come up when you turn the laser back on. If you want to change the power setting, you press the white bar and you select the power. Let's say I'm going to go to 11 watts here, and I say set, and now you see that the bar changed to 11 watts. Now you can pre-select one of the inserted protocols in here by putting your finger on the file folder and then selecting, for example, tendinitis, and say load, and then you see that it's changed the power setting to that particular protocol. If I want to change again and say, well, I'd like to treat a shoulder, I say shoulder and load. Now you see that it goes to 15 watts. So those protocols come preloaded, but there's open spots for you to load your own recipe, as we call it, or your own protocol. Now, if you want to change the mode, this is a continuous wave mode. If you want to change to a mode where you can pulse the laser, then you press the laser over on either the right or left side of the upper screen. And you can see here, I can change it. And this will provide a mode for setting the laser by dosage or pulsing the laser. We recommend when you're first learning the laser and learning to use it that you operate in the continuous wave mode. Now, when I press the pedal to start the laser, you'll notice several numbers moving. In the upper left portion of the screen, you'll see a blue number that's incrementing, as you will in the upper right-hand side of the screen. And those numbers indicate the joules, and they indicate the time that's passing. You'll also notice at the bottom of the screen this blue bar, which is indicating also how the time is progressing. If you press this blue bar, you'll see the total for the treatment, the total time, the total joules. And if you're finished with the treatment, you can strictly press finish. Now you've seen the indications and controls for the basic operating system of the laser. It's always important when you remove the fiber optic cable, always replace the covers, as this protects the probe and keeps the dust off the probe. You also replace the aperture cover as well. Those are the basic steps and the basic assembly pieces of the laser. Appreciate your attention. Again, your local representative will be able to guide you with much more detail in the certification of you becoming a certified laser therapist. And this is to help you and guide you in the initial setup of your device. Thank you for your attention.